And you're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on SuperSport. Hello, Scotland. Welcome to the game. What a try that they have just scored. As we update the scoreboard chat, Scotland versus England in the Six Nations. We are a little bit late because it did run into the URC, but we are live. And what a start. What a start so far. It's been a game of pretty epic portions. And I'm trying to sort my commentary out quickly. There we go. Yeah, what a start, Chaz. Just trying to sort of settle in. It's been a high tempo game. It's looking like proper international rugby, which is what we haven't had for a while. So Darcy Graham setting up a really nice try there, just trying to get everything set up. You're gonna put a poll in the comments to see where you guys reckon this match is going to go, which way it's going to go. And ironically, a try very much against the run of play. England have had all the possession and have looked really good. They've started very well, but Scotland with some very good defense and very good work at the breakdown. Right, let's just settle in here. Shall we try and settle in here? What do we reckon? Who are we going with here? And Finn Russell has put them in a very good position here. Eddie Price did initially go off, but he's busy. It looks like he's warming up on the side, so I think we will still see Eddie Price. Looks like he's passed his HIA. Well, now they're saying that Ben White is staying, but I don't understand, because why would he then have his gum guarded and stuff like that? Xander Ferguson taking things up into contact here. It's been lost forward though, looking for the counter attack. Marcus Smith getting it away. Colin Slade kicks it in behind. Stuart Hoggis getting back quickly. Make sure that won't run out. And he gets charged down actually from his kick. So it will be a Scotland throw-in. But yeah, very, very good pressure there from England. Very quick after the turnover. And Marchand with a really good chase there. Didn't have a lot of time there, did Stuart Hogg. And Scotland retain the line up there. And they've got an advantage as well, which is perfect. They'll get a free exit here. So England, I wouldn't say, this is the saying. England not looking bad, but Scotland just doing what Scotland do, I suppose, and that's make the best of when they can. Still calling Henry. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get away from that, you know. Yeah, Henry Slade. I always want to call him Colin. I don't know what it is. It's like a mental block. Plus, nobody likes Henry Slade. So whereas Colin Slade, we can kind of get over, can't we? Scotland up, nice one. Please don't ask me about Dublin. Yeah, it didn't go well there, Hugh. I did check out some of your videos, so I meant to go back and actually comment stuff like that. Been a bit of a tough week. But yeah, Ali Price is back on. As I said, it looked like he was coming back on. Rudolph Ndiki says, my grandpa's father said that Scots will make better South Africans than Englishmen. The Scots are dangerous if it's an old Boer War story. I don't know. I love the Scottish side. I think the Scottish side is exciting. I think it's it's very good. I think it's very underrated. I think people don't realize just how good they actually are. But that's a very good line of defense there from England, who have bundled the short line into touch there. Right, just off the line. Now Henry Slade carrying in. That's a big tackle on him. Now it's Genge. Very highly rated play is Genge. Curry, the captain for today, now carrying it up. Ben Young's going in behind that. Duan van der Merwe looking to run it out the 22 there. And almost managed to get out the 22. He actually loses the safety 22 as he runs out there, but it's created a nice angle. They can't kick for touch though, so Finn Russell will just launch it downfield. And have a penalty as well, so it's actually well done by Duan van der Merwe. That's kind of the thing that Scotland will do, look to try and run it out that turn 22. They've got license to do that. But that's a big mistake from Russell, who's not found touch, and now Freddie Stewart looking to try and make it punish him for it. Mark Smith now going up in the air. Tester here for Finn Russell. He does take it well. And a lot of pressure from Elliot Daly. Now Ali Price going to Gilchrist. Yeah, Ali Price asked for a couple of blockers. And it's taken well by Joe Marchant. England now with possession on the 10-meter line. Ben Young's going to inside ball there to Ennis Genge, running a nice angle there. Ben Young's now. Ludlam going to Otoje, shifting out there. Mayland puts it in, but it's going too far. And Stuart Hogg will just dot it down for what will be a goal line dropout. And England play with a very high intensity at the moment, which is something that Scotland's actually become quite well known for. Playing with that quite high intensity, quite quick sort of brand of rugby. Scotland's defense is underrated. It's the big reason for good form over the last 12 months. It's a very nice defensive system, and something like a Chris Harris is so important to it with the way he reads the game. Now look at this, putting it high and making it competitive from Finn Russell. And Elliot Daly has come away with it. So England have got possession just outside 22. That is the whole point of the goal line dropout. The fact that, opposition teams will get possession back either in a competitive position, or if you go too far, they've got a free drop goal. So Marcus Smith stabbing that in behind. And it will run into touch in the corner. So England really want to try and test the Scottish line out now. And just pinning Scotland back, keeping Scotland inside their own half. Making it very known that if they make any mistakes, that England are going to jump in that opportunity and make it count. All over the top. Jeepers, that's a big hit on Ferguson. But Scotland have managed to keep touch. Now Finn Russell gives it across to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg tries to bring out the torpedo. Doesn't connect that particularly well, so it rolls down the middle. And Stuart has missed that. Joe Marchant now cleaning up, running himself. Gets it away to Freddie Stewart. Sam Simmons, so looks going Dicky down the side there. Ball comes loose. Moritoja gives it across to Sinclair. That's a big tackle on Simmons from, or free penalty advantage there from for England. There's a gap. Ben Youngs has found the gap. Big tackle has come in, which is from Ferguson, but England still with the ball now. Sam Simmons trying to get through. Ben Young's going to Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith can do what he wants. He puts in the cross kick. And it's too far. But they'll go back for the penalty. It was definitely on. It was definitely on. The play was there for Marcus Smith, but just too far for Henry Slade. Hugh saying we have big problems here in Wales, even from top to bottom. Kerr under the under-20 side was totally humiliated against Ireland last night. Well, Wales Rugby News lost the plot, only manager money for nothing. Yeah, there's big cut going on in the whole Wales system. I saw that. Got demolished last night by Ireland. Lots of people not upset with, are very upset with the whole system at the moment, the club system and the way it works and the pipeline. So interesting times as a Welsh fan. Grant Swell, I'll just share for the big Ben Young's passing to touch. Dear. Is Eddie Murphy still coach of England? Yeah, Eddie Jones is still there. So there we go, a bit of a sign of confidence from England. They're going towards the corner here. They want the try. The ridiculous amount of injuries can't be helping either. Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, Wales, I think they're missing an entire loose trio. Obviously, no Alan Jones. A lot of players out for Wales, which is not helping at all. Kevin is rooting for Scotland. I'm also rooting for Scotland. In fact, I've got a Scotland shirt. I might actually chuck it on for the second half. You never know. If they're up at half time, I'll put it on for the second half. If I can actually find the damn thing. Moritoja winning in the front there. Cowan Dickey controlling things at the back here. Scotland trying to force it towards the side. Still going. It's looking good, Jeff, from England. They've got a bit of a run going. This is going to be tough to stop. That's once is the call. But they're broken off. And it's going to be held up, I think. And it's held up. Very well done. Very well defended from Scotland. That's very well held up. Goal line dropout. Once again, they're going very high. Scotland trying to make it competitive, but the consequence is that England's winning possession back on the 22. So Scotland just can't get outside their own half. Curry there now. Ben Young's going to Carl Sinclair. Good counter ruck there from Scotland. Can they turn the ball over? No, it's still there for England, but they have slowed it down. Ben Young's going behind to Henry Slade. Good take there from Elliot Daly, cutting inside. Back to Slade, who's wrapped up. Now George Turner's trying to get his arms over that. Still available for England. Ben Young's going inside to Carl Sinclair. Carl Sinclair puts his head down. That's a bit harsh because he said, no, don't play it. And then he released it. And then the ball kind of fell to Scotland. But I don't think it actually came off a Scottish hand. We'll look at the replay here. But I think that could almost be harsh. I think he's been penalised for the consequence of what happened as opposed to what he actually did wrong. They're going to have another shot at goal here, England. So they'll try and get themselves within 1 point. He's described obviously Cardiff full of arseholes, overpaid, sitting in the seats of committee room, winning loads of money for nothing. Big problems here. Yeah, and it's almost like a revolt is coming from the Welsh fans. You guys got to do the South African thing. You got to get protests. Got to get toy. You got to burn some tires. Got to get a necklace a few people. Come now. You got to get violent here. That's what we would do. What are the chances of Tyron Green turn out for England? No, thank you very much. He looks good in the green and gold. And I think he could be in the green and gold this year, actually. As Grant says, stay away from Tyron Green. Yeah, he does want to play for the Springboks. He was very, very adamant when he spoke to Rusty Rasmus before he went over and said, "We'll go overseas, affect my chance staying for the box," and was very much assured that it wouldn't. So he wants to play for the box. The problem is, how long do you wait? That's always the problem. Right, the restart there. Slaidlam. Ben Youngs now goes to his boot. 1 point game now. Stuart Hogg giving it inside to Matt Ferguson. Bangs over Tom Curry. Tried to go for the ball, but missing it. Ali Price. Not much on. Gives it away to, it looks like Hamish Watson. Now Ali Price a bit more time, can decide what he wants to do, directing a few players. Good call there from Malins there. From the up and under. Now Ben Young's going to the boot. Spots a bit of space. It's going to pop up nicely for Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg kicking it over there for Freddie Stewart. That's not a particularly good clearance from him. Yeah, it wasn't a particularly good kick. So it's just before the 10-meter line. It's an opportunity now. Very good work of Scotland. Julian van der Merwe almost getting through. But Tom Curry getting over that ball and winning a penalty. I tell you what, it's very, very quick to call the penalties on the ground. As soon as they've got hands on for holding on, it's being called. So, you need to be in the ruck very quickly because you can't be caught dawdling. Otherwise, you are going to concede a penalty from the looks of it. The calls are coming in very quickly. Good line there for England, Sam Simmons. I mean, the pace of this game is very impressive. But it's a penalty. Once you see that's for clear. That's for stealing off. What threw on Italy beating France? Hasn't France team affected with a few COVID? Well, Dupont, I actually haven't looked at the France team, but Dupont is captaining it. I don't think Italy will give them too much troubles. You never know. Maybe Italy will surprise us. I'm hoping to be live for that game. It depends if I'm home in time. If not, I'll make sure that somebody fills in for me. But we'll have a preview out for that game in the morning, as well as we'll have the press conferences from these games as well. We'll have those up over the evening. But as we sort of head towards half-time, now Scotland with a line out inside England territory. Solid line win. They're looking for a line up for rolling more here. The ball is available for Scotland. Didn't manage to get too much space there. Xander Ferguson carrying it up. Carl Sinclair bringing him down. George Turner now carrying it up. Now Ali Price is going to look to the back line. Finn Russell at second receiver. Ball out wide to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg dancing around, making a few meters. Good run from him. Ali. Solid carry here. Now it's Finn Russell. Very flat for Grant Gilchrist. Was well read by England. I'm not sure they can. Yeah, but they're not supporting their body weight. So it's a penalty advantage to Scotland. So chip over the top from Finn Russell. It's well read by Stuart, but it's a penalty right in front of the poles with 30 seconds to go. And Scotland should be able to slot this and go into half time with a 10 points to 6 lead. There's Genge having a few words at Finn Russell. He's a good player, Genge, but I tell you what, he's always going to have that little bit of grit about him. It doesn't help that his name is Ellis Genge. Sort of a bit of a grungy character, isn't he? But here comes the kicking tee. Yeah, you can see Maratoja just never supporting his own body weight there. Hey, we got a first member. Welcome off to the SuperSport Members Club. Really appreciate that. It's the first member of the weekend, which is good to see. We need to get our memberships up, actually. Yeah, really appreciate that. If you guys would like to become a member, we've got the link over there. It's in the pinned comments. And it really does. Every small bit does help the channel. So, yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, Finn Russell straight through the middle. And half time in Edinburgh, 10 points to 6. Scotland lead England. England arguably the better side. Scotland hanging into the game. Finn Russell playing with a smile on his face. When you get that smile, you get that look in your eye, you know you could be in for quite a good encounter. So we'll see you guys in the second half. I'm going to go and sort a few things out. Thank you. Thanks once again to Rudolph for becoming the latest member of the Members Club. How's Marcus Smith going? All right. I think nothing particularly special just yet. But we'll see you in the second half, and I'll return in just a bit. And we are back. And everybody, welcome back to Scotland versus England, the second Six Nations game. Obviously, Ireland outclassing Wales earlier. Big issues in the Welsh rugby setup. But this game very much on a knife edge. Scotland leading, Scotland looking pretty solid defensively, but England looking like, it's a case of how long can Scotland withstand the pressure. But yes, we are saying, it's more for conventional rugby commentators. Yeah, look, we are many things here. We are not conventional, though. I don't think we ever will be conventional. So you don't need to worry about that. Tight game, this Spport local business. Ovals lekker. Yeah, look, I mean, you can probably hear how local we are. France will put another 50 points on Italy tomorrow. Beck says, Stephen, how do we see the ratings of the coaches of these teams? I believe that Italy's coach the New Zealander. Should this influence the game? How do we see the ratings of the coaches of these teams? I believe Italy's coach. I think Italy are going to be interesting. I don't think it's difficult, because I think the problem is, I mean, it is New Zealand. It's Kieran Crowley, who's the current coach of Italy. Very experienced. He's getting on in years, so he's not exactly, you're not going to be coaching for the next 10 years type thing. I don't know. Italy are interesting because I think they've got some very nice players, and I think they've got a very nice next generation. I think that their rugby is going to get a lot better in the next 10 years. But I just don't think they're quite there yet. I think they've got a couple of special players, like so Stephen Varney and Paolo Garbizzi. I think they're very nice players. But until you start getting a pack that can compete, if you don't have a pack that compete at the highest level, you're never going to be able to really compete. So I'm hoping that we're going to see an exciting Italian side that likes to run with the ball, because I think that I think Garbizzi is a very creative player. He's up against Romain Intermac, so he's up against arguably the best 10 in the world at the moment. Although Mark Smith, Finn Russell, but Romain Intermac on his day is incredible to watch. But Garbizzi is a fun player. I think there's some good players in that Italian side. I think Montione is also a very nice player to watch, but I just think that their pack is where they come short. I think Sebastian Negri is a nice player. I think Michel Lamar is a nice player. But do they have the capacity to be able to sort of nullify other packs and allow the likes of Garbizzi and Varney to try and get, Montione, John Ignacio breaks, Marcus Anon into the right positions to compete? And then you look at that French side, and there's just so much quality. You look in their back line, and I think it's DuPont, I think it's Intermac tomorrow. I know Gail Fiku's outside centre. I know Peno's playing. I know Jaminet's playing at full back. It's even and the pack. I think Greg Aldred's a brilliant player. Silva is a solid prop. So I think there's too much quality from France, but I'm hoping that we're going to see an improved Italian side during the Six Nations, or an Italian side that has a go. If you're not going to be good enough, it's one thing, but have a go. So after match press conference, Wayne Pivac trying to polish a turd. That's actually going to be up very soon on the channel. I've got my people behind the scene who should be able to get that press conference up quite quickly. And I'm interested to sort of see also what. I think Wayne Pivac's under a bit of pressure, but I think it could be a bit of a systematic issue as well. I think Welsh rugby is arguably pretty broken at the moment, so maybe it's not as simple as it all seems. Well, the YouTube channel can stream in the dark. That's why I love it. Sports. Yeah, it wasn't fun. And I was completely caught off guard. I didn't think we were going to actually have that issue. But now, note to self. Two notes to self. Number one, get the coffee mugs going. The First Sports mugs. Number two, make sure that I've got the scoreboards. I mean the backup scoreboards for the backup options in the stream. I actually had thought about a bit of a contingency plan last time, but yes, I can't actually remember what it was officially now. Anyway, I've no money to spare. I'm just can afford being here. No stress, no stress. We all. That's the nice thing about YouTube. You know, it's accessible to everyone. If you can afford and you to donate and become a member, that's fantastic. But you're not going to be penalized if you can't. And I think it's a really cool model these days. The fact that you do just give everything's there available. It's for free. You don't have to pay a cent. But if you like it, you can reward it, which is cool because it means you sort of earn your keep as opposed to expecting it. You know, where SuperSport you just pay an absolute fortune, and if things don't go wrong, we're like, oh well. It keeps us honest. It keeps us honest. Come on, Scotland. Give me a nice way to finish the day. You know, I mean, I had the worst start for the day. I went out getting ready to have a really productive day, and what happens? My car breaks, and now it needs a lot of money. In fact, it pretty much needs as much money as it's worth to actually get it fixed again. So it's not been a good day. So I'm hoping Scotland will be able to change things there. I can't find the breakdown on YouTube. I just watch them now and then. Where are they? I have no idea. I haven't watched the breakdown in a while, actually. Is it? Are they still doing it for URC, or was it only for? Was it not only for the international stuff? BBC Sky, they're gone. Yeah, well, that's interesting to see if that has gone. We need more rugby shows, don't we? We need more rugby shows. I'd love to do a proper rugby show. I'd love to, I mean, sports show, you know, not even just rugby. We're going to see a lot more football on this channel soon. I need to start getting more content out again. You know, the rugby's fantastic, and obviously we all love it. But I need to start getting some football out. I need to start getting some cricket out. We need to start diversifying things a little bit. Because at the moment, we kind of only exist when there's rugby, and sometimes there isn't rugby. And then what must I do? Sit here and be bored? No. This has been a very long half-time break. Was it just me? Please do subscribe, by the way. I don't think we've had a single subscriber today. I mean, how poor is that? We've had all these shows, we've been going for the hours, and we haven't had a single subscriber. We've got a new member, but not a single new, well, maybe we might have been one new subscriber or two new subscribers. Either way, it hasn't been a lot of new subscribers. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, why not? Why not? What did we do wrong? Tell us. Tell us what we can do best to earn your subscription. You know, we want to know. But 40 minutes left of rugby for today, and I'm going to call it a quits. It is Scotland taking on England. It is 10 points to 6, and I really would like to see Scotland go and win. And speak of the Devils, as they run out here in Edinburgh, it's just such a vibe. I just want to be there. No masks, too much beer in my system. Forever Sports Tour. That's what we need. Maybe I should not fix my car and just go on tour because it's going to cost. I think it'll actually be cheaper to go on tour than to fix my car. Well, there it is. We've decided. I'm going to walk everywhere and we're going on tour. Boys on tour. I'd love to do the end of year tour. That's like my dream. Would be able to do the end of year tour, like 3 weeks, Spock rugby, see it in Paris, in England as well. Yeah, that's the dream. I was looking at World Cup packages, and I think that like basically need 100K, you need 100,000 rand to to go to the World Cup. So if anybody knows where I can find about 20,000 members. Right, kick off. Finn Russell gets us back underway. Goes towards the right-hand side here. First carry of the half for Laidlam. 4-point lead here for Scotland. If they are the next ones to score, I think that life could get a bit interesting. Big pressure on the bench to try and chase things. Stuart Hogg under the high ball there, giving it across to Matt Ferguson. He's brought down by Ez Genge. Ali Price going to the short side here. Right, Ali Price going high. It's going to be very competitive. A couple of players after, including Darcy Graham. Darcy, that's a fantastic up the air. He's so good in the air, is Freddie Stewart. Going to be a superstar, isn't he? Henry Slade out towards Maidens, who spins out the tackle. It's going to be interesting when Wales take on England. It's going to be Liam Williams versus Freddie Stewart. Stuart Hogg very solid under the ball, high ball as well. There's a lot of bombs early on in the second half here. Ali Price this time going for a bit more distance. Oh, and having said all that, as the commentators as well, are seeing the praises of Freddie Stewart under no pressure at all, he's just knocked it on. Takes it out in the last minute and it just bounces out his hand. So that's an early mistake there from the youngster. All of a sudden, Scotland with the scrum inside England territory. Talk about commentators' curse. I mean, they're busy practically sucking the man off, and so it's not going well for him. Just apologies. Yeah, look, it's actually very cool up here in Joburg. Come on, Scotland, please. Anyone but England says not your everyday culture. Cedric Break, he says Scotland. It is. I think we're all on Scotland's side, aren't we? He wants England to win, especially the amount of South Africans, and also, like, weirdly enough, black South Africans that support England, which I've never understood. I got like 2 or 3 mates who will support England, so if Scotland win, I'm going to go fetch them. Because the nice thing is they'll be like, oh, we beat you in November, and then we get to say, oh, but we beat you in the World Cup. Yay, twice actually in World Cup finals. Right, big scrum needed here from Scotland. It's quite interesting when you watch like Northern Hemisphere, especially like Six Nations stuff like that, how even the scrums are. Whereas like in the Southern Hemisphere, you see scrum battles. You see very much players going through scrums, lots of penalties and stuff like that. Whereas in the Northern Hemisphere, very solid scrums. Okay, short arm penalty there. And Johan van der Merwe takes quickly, gets around. Marcus Smith is eventually wrapped up by Tom Curry. Quick ball from Ali Price. Finn Russell then puts it to the boot. And he finds touch on the 22. Playing a bit of pressure of territory there. I've never met South African sports England. I literally know 2. It's bizarre. And I don't understand it either. Val says, shit game, 2 shit nations like the Scotswomen, though. I wouldn't call this a shit game. Anybody else call this a shit game? I think it's been quite entertaining. They use it. Sam Simmons. Colin Dickey bursts out the back. Loses says 22. Ben Young's now going deep. Darcy Graham underneath it. And we saw what he did with a bit of space in the first half. Well, it's penalty for obstruction, which I think is a bit harsh. I don't think he really actually makes much of a difference. So it's a bit of a frustrating penalty to concede. And I suppose he gets away from Archer because of it. So a penalty there, frustrating penalty to concede. Yanks says, where's Kelly? He's an English supporter. That's a very good question. I don't know where he is. He could be there for all I know, actually. Well, I don't think so. I think he's working today because he wants to do a game earlier. But he does live in... I think he's in Edinburgh. Yeah, he does live in Edinburgh, in which case I don't know why he's not there. Maybe he is there. Who knows? But if he's there, he would have told me. So I actually have no idea. But I would have a bit of a chuckle on the group if they do lose. Darcy Graham, the poor man, Cheslin Colby. I suppose there are worse things than to be the poor man's Cheslin Colby, especially that run he had in the first half. That was an awesome little try they scored. Christ, England. I mean, how many blooming conferences do we have to have before we can have this line out? The boos echoing around Murrayfield. Not a pretty stadium from the outside, but I reckon it has a wild atmosphere. Just like, what is it, like 70,000 just mad Scots. Very good more defense this. That's once was the call from the ref. I think he was told to use it, yeah, it was Ben Youngs. Goes to Henry Slade. Outside, Mark Smith picks it up. Daly came out of nowhere, but it was well read. Pick up and go. Slade now brought down. Oh, that's Shirley. Oh, it's a penalty for England. Or if he was the call, Freddie Stewart now. Trying to find space. There's a lot of I mean, that's a bit of obstruction if you ask me. Now to Sinclair. Off to Cowan Dickey. Ben Youngs, well wrapped up there. And we'll go back for the penalty. 14 blew beyond the ball. I thought he had license to play that, you know. He's shaking his head. I think he's almost got right to it. I think he could be a little bit hard done by. Right, so England are going to make this a 1 point game once again. Marcus Smith is waiting for his kicking tee. Again, I think this could be a bit harsh, you know. Right, so far, 2 for 2 from Mark Smith. None easier than this. Right in front of the poles. And straight to the middle, as you'd expect. 10 points to 9 after 48 minutes, call it. As I said, this game is on a knife edge. This could be separated by one penalty. It could separate by a try. Bloody Matty Proudfoot sitting in the England dugout. Eddie Jones, you got to let go of that hair, chap. You got to let it go. I get to let you go. Laidland once again underneath the restart. Wrapped up. It's a big hit on him from Xander Ferguson. It's quite cool to just play right with your brother, like the two Fergusons. Yeah, not a fantastic exit from Ben Youngs. Halfway between the 10 meter and the 22. 113, I think, caps today. Doesn't get any more experience to scrum off than Ben Youngs. Aaron Smith and him have been around for a long time. Conor Murray as well. Made his debut against Scotland, apparently. Right, here goes Scotland. Decent line up there. Going for the more there. George Turner's going to have to run off it. Ball goes to Finn Russell. Finn Russell slips the first tackle. Makes a few meters. It was a bit messy, but he makes it work. Roy Sutherland driven back in the tackle. And he priced to Hamish Watson. Big hit on him, but he managed to find a few meters. Now Finn Russell inside ball. Darcy Graham, almost a brilliant angle there. Wrapped up eventually. Quick ball now. Johnson wrapped up there. Tom Curry, I don't think I'd like to play that, but he gets away with it. Richie this time, now to Finn Russell. And the kick comes off Mario Toje and runs a bit back. So it will be a Scotland throw-in. But yeah, it definitely wasn't the right option for Finn Russell. It was good line speed there. You could see what he wanted to do, but he just didn't have the time to be able to get the kick away. And all of a sudden, Scotland back inside their own half. So there we're seeing that Matt Proudfoot's defence standing pretty well so far. Attempted rolling more here. I don't think Carl Sigler's allowed to be there, Yeah, I was about to say, he's just been told to depart. Still moving forward here are Scottish rolling more. I don't know if people got hands on the ball here. What's going on here? It's come down. Is the ball available? It's turnover ball. You had to get that out to Ali Price. And that's just a bit frustrating as a Scottish fan because they should have used that. Here we go. Here comes Pierre Skuman. Here comes the South African Brigade. Right, here comes Pierre Skuman and VPN now. So here come the two South African props, more South African born props, we should say. What can they add to the game? What can they? And McAnally as well. I like McAnally as well. I think that this is three good subs. I think. VPN null. All right, so expect to see a bit of scrum here from Scotland. The Epinals are, I mean, it's South African high tech, So what are they? They're big. But this is a nice tackle opportunity for England. It's right on the left-hand side, so they've got pretty much the entire width of the right-hand side to work with. Another short time. I mean, I just don't understand why the ref's not calling set. And it's the second time, so it's actually been turned into a penalty. But yeah, it's weird because he sort of goes cross set and then he never calls set. And England now going for the line. Get out towards the 22-meter. Referee Ben O'Keefe for the evening. Cowan Dickey still the same starting front row for England. No change there from them yet. Scotland can see 9 penalties so far. It's a sideline win. Early shove there from Scotland's very, very lateral. It's all sort of breaking apart. Scotland need to get a couple more bodies behind. It's Grant Gilchrist, I think, could be offside there. Yeah, advantage, penalty advantage there. They're looking to go to the side there. Marcus Smith, he's got the pace. He's straight through. There is Marcus Smith. Well, he has been pretty quiet today. But as soon as they had the gap, he joined there. And he had far too much pace. Really poor from Scotland to not identify the threat. They were a bit nowhere with the maul. And he's got a weird knack for scoring tries, as Marcus Smith. I mean, so I'm assuming Eddie Day's taking the conversion because he's gone trotting off. So as soon as they have the advantage, you can see, as soon as they have the advantage, he goes 2-on-1, 2-on-1. See, Youngs draws an Ali Price, and it's a 2-on-1 situation. Smith gets, and Finn Russell's coming across here, but can't get there in time. Hang on, what am I doing on the scoreboard here? It's 14 points to 10 in favor of England. Ignore the scorecard there. It's right now. Because how many coaches does Eddie Jones need? He always has a packed coaching staff. It's like, I mean, half of England's packed into that box. Yeah, I mean, I said he went running off, and then now he's back for the conversion. It's a bit odd. And he's pulled that to the left, so it'll remain a 4-point game. And England ahead for the first time in the game. Right up against the touchline from the restart is Marchand. Does well to manage to stay inside under the pressure from Darcy Graham. Still inside 22 here, England. Ben Young's going to Laidlam. Hey, get your clock working, man. Come on. And a decent clearance there from Ben Young's here. Right, it's 25 minutes left. What can Scotland conjure up, eh? Line on the halfway line. First line for McInally. Nice line to take there. I think it was Hamish Watson. No, Hamish Watson's actually acting a scrum off there. Andy Price going to Stuart Hogg, but the ball has been behind, so Darcy Graham has to clean up. He's doing it very well. He's still going as Darcy Graham. That is a brilliant run up into England territory. Now I want to talk about beyond the ball. That was beyond the ball. Andy Price there, Finn Russell. Ferguson, this is much better from Scotland. England defence is scrambling. But the rush defence doing well. Stuart Hogg going himself. Up past the 10-metre line now. Pierce Schoeman first carry of the day, but he gives it off to Finn Russell. Good take on the side there from Richie. Just needs to straighten. He does straighten. Inside ball to Grant Gilchrist. Verpinal's there to make sure the ball is secure. Now to Finn Russell. Finn Russell just delaying the attack because Mark Smith was up quickly. McInally inside. He had Stuart Hogg outside him. Decided not to use him. This time they come back inside to Pierce Schoeman. Andy Price to Finn Russell. Finn Russell to Grant Gilchrist. Very good take over there from Sam Johnson. This time working it away to Pierce Schoeman. Gets away from one. Drives hard as the South African-born prop. And they've turned the ball over of England. Lost the ball forward there, Scotland. And now if this ball runs out, it's going to be 50-22. Stuart Hogg is desperately getting inside. He does keep inside. Well done. I mean, that is Stuart Hogg. And he's going to run it as well. Inside as well. Waiting for the support to come. Stuart Hogg take a bow. That is brilliantly done. I mean, the calmness as well. He taps it inside to prevent the 50-22. He almost puts it in front just of Max Mullins, who almost thought he had a free try. Stuart Hogg managed to get there, slid on his knees, got away from the tackle, and then managed to have the presence of mind to just hold it up a little bit, stepped a bit inside, and eventually just took on two players whilst the support came back. So cheap as me. That's a really, really impressive. I mean, look, keeps it inside brilliantly. Max Mullins thinks Chris was to come early, but Hogg's got the pace. Dives, gets it, gets up, doesn't kick it. You can see where the support is, trying to get on the outside, steps in the inside, and then runs towards three Scottish players where they've then got the support. When he does things like that, I tell you, he can be a different class sometimes. Mario Toja there. Pretty solid defense here so far. Pierce Schoeman coming through now. They're going to have to use as Luke Cowan-Dickey breaks off. And Ben Young has been caught in the ball here. Turnover ball, McInally. Right. Oh, it's like the ball almost. It almost looked like Ali Price was going to go down the blind side. So it'll be an England line out towards it. It was really good turnovers, really good timing of the tackle there. And Ben Young's caught in the ball here by his opposite number, Ali Price. Then McInerney does very well, gets away from Marcus Smith, ball over the top. Ali Price just couldn't get the ball to Ali Price. If he got it, I think he probably would have been kick ahead, and then it would have been, is there anybody around to chase? Welcome, Andre. Hope you're well. McInerney has stayed down, which is not a good sign. He's a very nice player. Yeah, it looks like his game's over. Oh, no, it's Richie that's down. So then Magnus Bradbury is also a very good player. So Jamie Ritchie is down. Magnus Bradbury comes on. I think it's going to be an England scrum or an England line-out, one of the two. Not quite sure which one yet. Very big players, Magnus Bradbury, like physically very big.
This is potentially a change that might have been planned for Gregor Townsend, and there will be for an injury, but not right now. And it was probably going to be a Ferguson, and that Ferguson shift with Bradbury, but as it is, Bradbury very capable of playing on that right side flank. Richie will undoubtedly be lost, particularly in the line out. We all hope this is a long-term injury to Jamie Ritchie. We don't like to see any player spectrum on.
Right, so Jamie Ritchie unfortunately leaves on the golf cart. And it looks like we're going to resume from a line-out. Tupelotu as well on for, I think, Sam Johnson. So I think it's actually two very good subs here for Scotland. I think Tupelotu is a very nice player. Been playing some very good rugby this season. Was robbed of a couple of caps during the Alternations Cup. But he's a direct runner. He's powerful. I think we'll compliment Chris Harris quite nicely. But Scotland need to get more their hands on the ball a bit more. It's a really good maul defense. The Scotland maul defense has actually been very good today. There obviously was the try. I think it was held up. We'll pick up and go from Oratoji. Almost breaks the line. Ben Young's now going to the boot. And England managed to regain it after the kick. Ben Young's going into the left to Carl Sinclair. Young's to Mark Smith now. What's Mark Smith going to do? He gives it to Elliot Daly. He shifts it in. Elliot Daly gives it to nobody. Carl Sinclair goes back and cleans up, but they've lost a bit of territory there. Now, once again, gone very deep this time has Ben Youngs, but Duan van der Merwe has spilt it sideways, which actually might turn out. You've got all the space, all the players behind you. Look at your left-hand side, you idiot. Well, it's a great run, but he had so many players there. Ooh. And a penalty from Ben O'Keefe for sealing off. But he had like 4 players on the right-hand side here. Duan van der Merwe, just look up, chap. I mean, it actually worked out better because he probably would have marked it had he actually taken it cleanly, but he spills it to the side and then goes on a run. But he had so many players outside him. Why didn't he use them? Why didn't he use them? And Mark Smith has not found touch, so Scotland have managed to put in a return kick. Mark Smith now in his own half. Puts the happy under for Freddie Stewart, but it's quite deep. It's going to allow just outside. That's in fact perfect. Finn Russell doesn't take it cleanly, but does bounce back. Ali Price gives it to Magnus Bradbury. We'll just take it into contact. A lot of pressure at the breakdown though. And Leyland's come in and burgled that. It almost looked from the side. Ben Young's chip over the top. And they're going back for the penalty. I'm not sure what the penalty's for. "13 offside. Chris Harris has been pinged for being offside. Not quite sure where. And it's right in front of the pole as well. So England will definitely take the points here and they'll go 7 ahead.
You just see here with the penalties conceded, the last 5 of them against Scotland in this second half, perhaps highlighting the pressure that England continue to build on the moment.
So I mean, Scotland have more ball in hand. They look like they can create something with it. They just every single time they go to momentum are just either conceding a poor penalty or conceding silly possession away. Right, so Marcus Smith, to make amends for not finding touch with that touch finder, will be able to put England 7 points ahead now. It's right in front of the pole, so it should be pretty stock standard. It is to go straight down the middle. England go up to 17 points to 10. A converted try to level things up now for Scotland. Lots of work to do. But 18 minutes, still plenty of time on the clock. And here comes the reinforcements. Well, it's forward on for Marcus Smith. It's Marler on. It's a new front row, well, 2 new props here for England. Joe Marler and Will Stewart are both on. And then George Fawn. And number 20 as well, which is Alex Dombrandt. And Ben Youngs with a clearance kick, not his best again, half between the 10 meter and the 22, but Scotland need to be able to sort of create something here. Joe Marler with the usual Joe Marler haircut. And it's a short arm free kick there. We've seen quite a few of short arm free kicks from Ben O'Keefe. They're going to go for the scrum here, Scotland. Right, big moment in the game here for Scotland. Yeah, they can try and score off this.
England have got the 2 number 8 specialists in the back row alongside the captain. Marcus Smith, Dennis Gant, you can also see there Lewis Ludlam. 15 minutes to go.
Right, as we enter the last 15 minutes here, can Scotland cook up something to try and level towards and make things interesting as we go into the final stages of the game? They've got a scrum in a promising position, yep. Solid scrum. Ben White decides to go to the left to Finn Russell. Finn Russell goes for the cross kick. Doing for the Merva. He steps aside. Doing for the Merva. Still going. He needs support you. One inside the 22 now. Ben White to Finn Russell. Finn Russell now with the other cross kick. Darcy Graham needs to put in a big challenge here. Now, that's going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. So Luke Cowan-Dickey is down. It comes off Luke Cowan-Dickey. The question they're going to ask now is, did Darcy Graham foul him, or is this a Scotland line out on the 6 meter? This could be a penalty try, you know. So what they're saying is, Brendan Keefe basically says that Cowan-Dickey has jumped and knocked the ball deliberately forward into touch. Deliberately knocked it forward. If they have, it's a penalty try, by the way. But that's Finn Russell for you, hey? Cross kick, bang, to Bjorn van der Merwe, and then cross kick once again. And it was Cowan-Dickey versus... Yeah, that's penalty try. It's penalty try. Luke Cowan-Dickey literally goes up and just flaps. It's almost like it's like a volleyball slap. You can't argue with that, chap. Yeah, I mean, it would have gone straight into Darcy Graham's hands had he not done that. And Darcy Graham is perfectly placed as well, and there's a man inside. You can see the immediate thing he went to was go to the official and say, yep, it's going to be given. Penalty try. Oh, there he goes. 17 apiece with 15 to play. And it's going to be a yellow card, by the way, so England will be down to 40 men. Well. You can't argue that. It was definitely a yellow card. I mean, a penalty try and a yellow card. You can look confused all you want. It literally looked like a volleyball. I mean, if that wasn't a volleyball court, it wouldn't have looked out of place. I mean, you can't go up there and just slap it forward out into touch. And all of a sudden, all the momentum that was with England, all of a sudden, Murrayfield has woken up, yeah. Right, here we go. George Ford gets things back underway. And Scotland have just let that bounce straight into touch, which is a bit bizarre. Darcy Graham gets that completely wrong, so they'll start their patch with 14 men with a line out inside their own 22. Cowan-Dickey, I love that. Oh, dear. You can't complain about that decision, though. It's definitely a penalty try. Right, McInally. Solid take over there. Was he not taken out? Penalty advantage as well. And a penalty for Scotland. You see, the tides have turned. And now Finn Russell will be able to kick this deep inside England territory. Well, hopefully inside English territory. This could be very costly for England. Good take there. Now Scotland's going to go for the rolling more here. It's going it's going slightly forward, but very lateral at the moment. McInally's controlling things. Goes to Ben White. Ben White goes to Finn Russell. Finn Russell. That's what Finn Russell does. He's pinning them back into their 5 meter. Scotland all controlling the game right now. And now Joe Marler is throwing the ball into the lineout. Not what he would have planned to be doing when he came on. And hasn't gone 5 meters. Joe Marler, oh dear, it's going to be a turnover ball. It's going to be a turnover ball. The last thing that England needed. And they're calling for a scrum. They're calling for a scrum. Look, now they can put on a hooker. This is it. This is the moment here for Scotland. Joe Marler not throwing it 5 in the line out. And all of a sudden, Scotland have got a scrum on the 5 meter line. England the men down. All right, what's going on here? What's going to go on here? You get my clock going because the clock is running. I mean, this is the situation you'd want, isn't it? 10 minutes to go, level, yellow card, still 5 minutes left in the yellow card. England with the man down at the scrum. I mean, you get a good shove here. Penalty tries back on the cards. You then got Finn Russell standing behind. You've got Stuart Hogg standing behind. Sorry, it's a Darcy Graham. Penalty for Scotland. They'll go for another scrum. Yeah, Finn Russell saying scrum. Take it. Go on. They're going to take the points. It's interesting. Finn Russell wanted the try. He said take another scrum. Stuart Hogg said no. Test match rugby, take the points. It's probably the right decision. It's the sensible decision. But 7 points would have been looked. But at the same time, you take a scrum and you suddenly messed up slightly and you concede it. You're behind. Whereas now, have a kick a goal. You still have 4 minutes of the yellow card. It's an interesting call. What would you guys have done? You think it's the right call, bad call? What are we thinking here? Right, Finn Russell. It's not too difficult. And he's gone through the middle. It almost went to the side, but it's gone through. Scotland ahead. 20 points to 17. 8 minutes to go, of which only 5 will be with a full 15 on the park from England. So this is a big moment now for Scotland. The important thing is now to take this. Right, George Ford going deep. This time it needs to be taken. It's right up against the touchline. And that's not a good moment. Matt Ferguson has dropped the ball into touch. Oh, it does, you know. That's interesting because it actually catched the hand of Martian as he went up, which means that it is technically a knock-on. Yeah, he's gone upstairs and they've said that it is a knock-on. Well, that's gone away with one there. A scrum now, and they've got a man advantage. So Scotland can try and find a penalty here, and if they do, they can then kick it as deep as they can and just try and park their way into England territory. What a game this is turning out to be. GHB says take the damn points. Not Jimmy Nicholson. The Stormers versus Shark game today was bang average. Steve says let's keep with the rugger. There we go. Tupolato's first carry of the day. He never released that tackle, you know, Tom Carey. To get ahead is the most important thing. I agree. Would have loved for the Stormers to annihilate the Sharks. They could have scored so many more tries. 3 points was wise. Well, charge down kick there. And England have come off side. I was about to say, if it was Scotland offside, it would have been a big problem. But England have come offside, so it's a Scotland penalty. It's funny because the Scots couldn't get any calls about 10 minutes ago when the England's momentum. And all of a sudden now England just infringing. As Mario Tojo has been penalised. 1 minute 36. So Finn Russell's going to kick this into England territory. And they're still going to have one more play with against 14 men. If they can make this count, what you got to think one try wins this game here. The call is offside against Mario Tojo at the ruck. So Lions win there from Scotland as well. We've been told to use it once. McInally controlling things at the back. Breaks himself. Big hit from Tom Curry. Ben White to Finn Russell. There's space at the side there. Darcy Graham cutting inside. Brought down eventually by George Ford. Ben White to Finn Russell. Finn Russell to McInally. To Pilotu. Bradbury, it's a big hit, but he hangs on to him. Marshall making the tackle there. Scotland still with the ball in hand. Matt Ferguson still tirelessly working. Finn Russell, flat ball there. That's a very good run. The offload as well to Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson up to the 22. Ben White down the side there. Stuart Hogg coming inside. Scotland all over England at the moment. Had they got the momentum? Had they got the composure? Pierce Schoeman now. To Finn Russell. Finn Russell this time to Viepian now. And a penalty advantage for not really. Darcy Graham picks up and bursts through the middle. They've got an advantage right in front of the poles as well. Free roll the dice. Oh, Finn Russell has fumbled it. He's fumbled it. But it's right in front of the poles. Now, again, it's an easy 3 points, and you've got to take it. But there will always be that temptation of kick to the corner and waste the time down. You know, 4 minutes, try and waste the time. You've still got the lead. But then, if you then concede a penalty, England can level it. If you concede a try, they win it. Whereas if you take the points now, which they're hard taking, as you have to do, then a potential neck roll. I don't know if this is a clean out. Where are we at? What do you think about Ireland? Look, Ireland are a side that on their day can beat anyone. I think they're a really, really good outfit. They look very good against Wales. It's about the consistency for them. They can beat any side in this competition, Ireland. They can go on to win it. It's whether they can bring that consistency week in, week out. I think all the South Africans are sitting on the edge of their seats. No one wants the Poms to win. I reckon the Stormers could have scored so much more. They messed up so many opportunities. Agreed. I'd love for Ireland to beat England. Well, this is a big moment. So, Cowan Dickey's back on. England are back. I don't think he's back on. I'm assuming Jamie George is on. But if this is a neck roll by a Scottish player, then suddenly it becomes an England penalty, and they can kick towards. So it looks like it could be a reverse penalty here. It's Hamish Watson. That's so stupid. He's grabbed Curry around the neck and just rolled. He's going to concede a penalty. They could have buried the game there, could Scotland. And Hamish Watson has now conceded a penalty, which will see this reversed. And all of a sudden, England will now have 4 minutes to try and win the game. It's going to be reversed. Hamish Watson could have stuffed this up. So I don't know when they're from England, but they're still inside their own half. Jamie George, as I said, on the park. They do kick the position away to Duan van der Merwe. Duan van der Merwe running into George Ford. It's about 3 minutes now for Scotland to run the clock down. And it's an England penalty. This could be huge. It is kickable. It's on the right-hand side. It wouldn't be the most straightforward attempt, but an international fly half should be able to slot this. What are England going to do? What do England want to do? I don't even think they're looking to go for the pass. They're going to go for the corner. Well, they're going to go for the win here. We're going to get a result here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a penalty in front. But with 3 minutes to go, George Ford has found touch just ahead of the 22. Will shoot the man over the ball, winning that penalty. Right, where are we saying this? It's going to be close. France look like the Dogs this year. I think France is a little overrated. We'll see tomorrow, don't we? But they've won the line out of Scotland. That could be the game-winning moment. With 2 minutes to go, they've won the line out. And now it's about getting the exit. They've created an angle, got Ben White out, and now this ball's going to go back surely to Finn Russell. They're going to have another phase. Yeah, it does go back to Finn Russell. Now Finn Russell's going to put everything he has into this as he hacks this downfield. Doesn't find touch. All right, Maidens, what can he conjure up? Runs into Ferguson. 1.5 minutes left. Jamie George. Ben Young's going to the right side. Quite a few England players there. Mullen straightening. Scotland can't afford to make a mistake now. It's whoever blinks first, isn't it? It's whoever blinks first. Gilchrist causing a use of himself. And Piers Schoeman up. As Piers Schoeman has... Oh, he's offside there. Knock on advantage up. It's going to be a scrum. It's going to be a scrum in the last minute of the game. He did so well to Piers Schoeman until he threw the ball to the man right next to Mario Toje. If Piers Schoeman had just taken that down into contact, they could have recycled that. And once again, I think, Finn Russell then would have just put it on the boot and put it as far down the field as possible. Matt Ferguson has been nominated as the player of the match. Deserved. He's been tireless today. He's worked really hard today, Matt Ferguson. Been very impressed with him. But England could be paying for... I don't know why they wouldn't have gone for the points there. They're still at 2 minutes. Bag the draw first. Bag the draw first. Look, the wind's still on. By the time they put the scrum in, it will be the end of the game. Jack Noah was supposed to be trying to come on. I mean, really, the hoot is literally gone. It's basically now who can put in a big scrum here. They're keeping the ball in. They're keeping the ball in. It's available. It's going to be a reset. It's going to be a reset. Please put the palms in the place. I don't think we're going to get a draw. I think we're going to see a result. Gregor Townsend's on his face, on his feet. He can barely watch. Yes, it's real life. Irish officiating was just cucked so far in their home games. Always go for the boys. Fly of Scotland. Yeah, look, this is it. It's basically who blinks first. It's the final play of the match. Will Scotland have another victory over England? If Scotland can create a turnover here, they will win it. If England can conjure up something, if they get a penalty here, they can level it. It'll be a draw. It's another reset. Another reset. Both players have gone down as the call. Surely, come on, Scotland. It would be so great for them to start off with a victory. Eddie Jones talking them up as the favourites, saying, look at recent results, which is fair, but let's be honest, on paper, this is a really good England side. Another reset. Another reset. Another reset. Ah, dear. So he says both teams are going up. He says basically the first team to keep it up will be rewarded. So if either side can keep the scrum up in the next scrum, they could very well walk here with a penalty. For Scotland, that would be the win. For England, that would be the draw, unless they want to go for the corner and have the victory. But I don't think so. Basically, Scotland penalty, they win. England penalty, it will probably all likely would be a draw. Ben Youngs has played a full 80 here. 83, actually. Unless England can conjure up something off the back of the scrum here. Use it as the call. That's another reset. It's another reset. Oh, my living. Ben O'Keefe refusing to make a decision here. It's another solid scrum. Ben Young's looking to use it. He goes down the left right side. George Ford. Elliot Daly. Darcy Graham, turnover ball for Scotland. And there it is. They just need to get out and kick it. And Scotland have done it. They've won the Kolkata again. The Stuart Talk celebration, as we've come to know them for. What a match. What a team. What a moment. What a game. Look what it means to them. Look what it means to them. The Scottish side is special. It is a special side. They could find a way to find results. England, especially in the first half, looked the better side, but Scotland were always in it. They were always in it. A try against it, a couple of penalties to stay in the game. A huge mistake from Luke Cowan-Dickie, costing them a penalty try. And final score, 20 points to 17. What an epic encounter. It's such an enjoyable team to watch, is Scotland. Yeah, and there come the excuses already, probably appearing in the comments, which should have been a penalty. It's always the referee's fault if you lose, isn't it? It's always the referee's fault when you lose. Well, there we go. What a game. What a game. Thank you, everybody, for watching over the past couple of hours. We've had 3 back-to-back watch-alongs, so it's been a very enjoyable day. So thank you all for jumping on and joining me. We'll hopefully be live again tomorrow. France versus Italy to close out the Six Nations first weekend. Final score in Edinburgh is 20 points to 17. England going down to Scotland. And if they were to go out to win the Six Nations, they now have work to do. Ireland and Scotland get their Six Nations campaigns off with a win. And we'll see if which of France and Italy can do that tomorrow. Thank you very much. Please do smash like on the video. And please do subscribe to the channel on the way out. Far too few of you guys, you are new watchers, have subscribed. So please do go and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all very soon.